you imagine 3 teenage boys, not just dreaming, but grinding, and then boom! They hit our screens with harmonies so tight, even your auntie who swears by old school Motown had to pause and say, "Wait, who are these kids?" It was Youngstown, the boy band that wasn't made in a label's boardroom, but in the raw trenches of hustle and heart. They didn't have a rich uncle in the industry, no silver spoon, no golden ticket. Nah. What they did have was talent, pen and paper, and the kind of determination you just can't teach. And trust me, fans, oh, they were hooked. Soulful music, catchy hooks, and a vibe that felt real. These guys were it. But then out of nowhere, they disbanded. No farewell tour, no dramatic fallout in the tabloids. Just gone. So, what truly happened? Why did they break up? Where are they now? Is there a comeback on the horizon? Alright, y'all, let's kick it real about Youngstown. Not the city, but the boy band that brought the heat before TikTok was even a thought. Picture this. 3 dudes grinding in the shadows while the rest of the world slept. No silver spoons, no fairy god managers, just straight up hustle, late nights, and harmonies tight enough to give you goosebumps. We're talking James Dallas, born February 7th, 1975. David D.C. Yeager, born on June 15th, 1979. And Sam Lopez, born on September 8th, 3 voices, 1 dream, and a whole lot of sweat behind that spotlight. Now don't get it twisted, everybody dreams of blowing up overnight. One day you're just chilling. Next thing you know, you're riding in a limo like it's Uber Black. But for Youngstown, nah, that glow up took grinding. These boys were out here scribbling lyrics in notebooks, perfecting harmonies, stacking vocals in dim-lit studios till they got it right. That's how they landed their shot with Hollywood Records and dropped Let's Roll. No shortcuts, just vibes and vision. DC, that man was born for the stage, only child from the south side of Youngstown, Ohio. While other teens were trying to figure out algebra, my guy was out there on stages, ripping mics and pouring soul into every note. Clubs, showcases, wherever they'd let him sing, he was there, eyes on the prize. He once said in an interview with Concrete Loop, "At 16, I knew I was going to be a singer. I just knew it. And when you know, you know. That fire, unshakable. That purpose, untouchable." Now, let's talk about when Youngstown decided to put some real skin in the game. These boys weren't playing. They rolled up their sleeves, hit the booth, and took on their debut album, Let's Roll, like it was their shot at the moon. And let me tell you, they delivered. Sure, the album's got those smooth pop R&B ballads that'll make you sway like a slow jam at prom. But hold up, it ain't all soft and sweet. Nah, these boys sprinkled in some wild cards. First up, their debut single, I'll Be Your Everything. That track hit like Sugar Rush and ended up on the Inspector Gadget soundtrack. Straight fire, then you got Pedal to the Steel. And guess who hops on the mic? None other than Kel Mitchell from Keenan and Kel. Yeah, he's out here dropping bars while electric guitars are shredding in the background. Pure chaos, pure gold. And dance floor? That joint ain't for sitting, it's for sweating lights low, bass up, feet moving. Basically, what we love, we try to put into our music, Dallas said. And boy, it shows. They weren't trying to fit in. They were making the sound fit them. Now the backstory? Whew, even juicier. These 3 weren't just some label-manufactured trio. Nah, this was fate linking up at the right time, in the right place. Dallas, 24, linked with DC, 23, a while back, friends of friends. Dallas was already in a group called Part 4, but they needed a voice to fill out the harmony. Then DC came in. The blend was magic. So they packed up, hit Atlanta to chase the dream, but life threw a curveball. The rest of Part 4 dipped. Quit the group, just bounced. That could have been the end, but nope. Then here comes Sammy, 21, the baby of the crew, already tight with the boys from back home in Youngstown. He came down to ATL to visit his mom, heard Dallas and DC were regrouping and was like, "Yo, I'm in, let's ride." And just like that, the trio was born. No executives, no auditions, just 3 hungry dudes building from the ground up. As DC said, it wasn't like we were put together, we did it ourselves. But now this is where it gets real juicy. Once Youngstown locked in as a trio, game on. These dudes didn't waste a second. They straight up went ghost from the world for a year and a half. No parties, no flexing, just grinding in their own little home-built studio, cooking up heat. Sammy put it best. We pretty much hibernated ourselves and just started vibing. And vibe they did. Now let me tell you the magic they brewed up during that time. You can hear it all over their debut album, Let's Roll. These weren't just pretty faces singing sweet notes. Nah, these boys had pens. Dallas, Sammy, and DC co-wrote 5 of the tracks. That chemistry, unmatched. Unmatched. Dallas would pluck a melody on his keys, and just like that, the lyrics would hit the paper like a lightning strike. DC said it was like boom, no hesitation. Sammy added, everything comes naturally, and you can feel it. They weren't forcing greatness. They were living it. Now, the first baby they birthed together? Remember, a heart-wrenching piano-soaked ballad about love gone south. Sammy said it was their very first song, and when they heard it back, they looked at each other like, yo, we got something special here. That track wasn't just music, it was a memory, a timestamp of where it all began. Then there's Whenever You Need Me, the group's personal fave. Why? 'Cause it hits like Prince vibes kissed Brian McKnight's soul. Smooth, soulful, and rich with flavor. The album also gifts us Through Your Eyes, romantic and warm. And Angel, a slow jam that glides like silk sheets. But hold up, Jamie Lee, that one hits different. That's Dallas's track. His mom used to call him Jamie Lee, and this song is a whole tribute to her. He keeps it raw and real, saying, she didn't always make perfect choices, but she sacrificed her happiness to give us what she thought we needed. Bruh. That's love on another level. Now, before all this vocal greatness, Dallas was a hip-hop dancer back in Kansas City. Dude had the moves and the music in him. Picked up the mic, then the guitar, and boom, triple threat. He even played piano on 3 tracks on the album and co-produced some of the heat. According to DC, if Dallas ain't talking, he's strumming. Always got a guitar in hand, just vibing away like a mad musical scientist. This album wasn't just a project, it was their heartbeat. 8, now buckle up, because this is where it gets real and a little bittersweet. You see, DC, born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio, didn't even start taking his vocals serious till he was hitting those late teen years. Dude was out there singing his heart out at talent shows, killing karaoke nights with soul-stirring covers like the Righteous Brothers' Unchained Melody. That voice? It wasn't just a gift, it was a weapon, and DC knew exactly how to wield it. Whenever I got the chance, I'd sing, he said. And his playlist of inspiration? Straight heat. Michael Jackson, Babyface, Metallica. Yeah, man's got range. When DC wasn't belting notes, he was killing it on PlayStation, hacking the sack like a pro. Or out there rollerblading like it was the 90s forever. Talk about versatility. Then we got Sammy, Rochester, New York's finest. Music was basically his family's second language. Everybody in that household could sing or play something. Drums, piano, guitar, you name it. Sammy was already tapping away on a Muppets drum set at age 4. Like, this dude was born to vibe. He did choir, rocked school solos, and never stopped pushing. On top of that, man was an athlete through and through. Hooping 5 days a week, staying sharp with a book in one hand and a basketball in the other. Renaissance man energy for real. And through all that, the vibes they brought to Let's Roll, untouchable. It wasn't no studio gimmick, no manufactured pop product. Nah, these boys had soul. Their sound was real. Pop melodies soaked in R&B smoothness with just enough funk to get you moving. You could feel it. They weren't here for the clout, they were here to connect. As long as some of our songs touch people, that's cool with us, DC said. We just want to be on stage, watching people sing our lyrics back to us. That was the dream. Pure, powerful, no filters. But then, man, here comes the twist. Just when things were cooking, right when the world was finally catching on to the sauce they'd been marinating for years, boom, Icky Bin Besh hit. And just like that, Youngstown was done. No warning, no farewell tour, just gone. It was like the final page of a book you didn't want to end. Fans were left stunned, playing I'll Be Your Everything on repeat like maybe, just maybe, the magic would spark again. But legends? They don't need to burn forever to leave a mark. And Youngstown, they lit up the sky, even if just for a moment. But where exactly are the Youngstown boys now? So yeah, I've got the scoop and it's giving grown, seasoned, and still doing their thing. First up, David D.C. Yeager. My guy really out here still chasing the dream, and not just chasing, but living it. He went solo and leveled up, signing with Asia's mega label Avex. Yeah, that's big. He's cooking in the studio with none other than Neo. Yes, Grammy-winning pen game legend Neo. DC said it himself. Working with Neo, aka Schaffer, brings out the best in him. And with beat-making firepower from Polly Paul and the Insomniacs. Plus, that Norwegian flair from Big City. The man's not just making an album, he's making a statement. His goal? Not just to drop music, but to craft a timeless classic. The kind you bump now and still vibe to 20 years later. Respect. Now 45 years old, DC's still out here living that dream. Mic in hand and heart on his sleeve. Then we got James Lee Dallas, the OG smooth operator of the crew. Now 50, he slid into the producer lane and never looked back. He dipped into the acting game too, showing up in projects like Twinkle Time, Fun in the Sun, and its web series. The man clearly knows how to stay creative. He didn't just fade out. He pivoted, and he's still out here making magic happen. Now, as for Sam Lopez, the youngest of the trio, now 47, well, Sam's kind of pulled a disappearing act. Been off the radar, quiet like a whisper. No socials popping, no recent news, just vibes and mystery. Maybe he's living the chill life out the spotlight, or maybe he's out there planning something major and just waiting for the right moment to drop it on us. Either way, Sam's absence is felt, but never forgotten. Still, despite the group parting ways more than a decade ago, it's dope to see that the Youngstown spirit is alive and well. These guys gave us harmonies, bops, and memories that still slap. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, one day we'll get that surprise reunion. One stage, one mic. Feel all the feels. Cheers to the past, the present, and whatever wild ride the future holds.